Massive protests have broken out, not just in Minneapolis, but across the nation over the ICE shooting of Renee Nicole Good. Democrats and leftists are claiming that this was cold-blooded murder and that the ICE agent had no right to shoot Good, despite the fact that she had disobeyed lawful orders and was there to impede this operation. Well, there is now new evidence that is about to change the conversation entirely. It turns out that the ICE agent who shot Good, well, he's previously been hit by a car before. Yes, he was also doing an ICE operation in the same region, in the Twin Cities area. He was hit by an illegal immigrant who, by the way, ended up dragging him for 300 feet before he became disentangled from the vehicle. Take a look.
Arrest in the Twin Cities is leading to even more charges.
This home security video shows the driver taking off during a traffic stop, dragging a deportation officer with him. New at 10, WCCO's Uba Ali walks us through this video and the political firestorm behind it.
What began as a planned federal immigration arrest took a violent turn in this quiet Bloomington neighborhood. And it was all caught on camera. According to a federal complaint, agents were executing a warrant for 39-year-old Roberto Carlos Munoz. They say Munoz entered the country unlawfully, and he also pled guilty to fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct back in 2023 for abusing a minor. Tuesday morning, agents pulled him over. Court documents say he repeatedly refused to comply before a federal agent took out his spring-loaded window punch with his right hand and broke the driver's side rear window. These images show the officer's hand in the vehicle. In this video, you can see the driver take off with the agent hanging from the car, dragging him 300 feet through front yards. These graphic images show the aftermath. A bloody agent who needed 33 stitches for his significant cuts. And now a political battle with a top Homeland Security official criticizing Governor Tim Walz, posting on X, instead of comparing ICE law enforcement to the Gestapo, Walz should be thanking our brave law enforcement. The Department of Justice says a request for Munoz to be held after that 2022 arrest was, quote, not honored by local authorities, and Munoz was released.
This changes everything. A lot of people online, a lot of pundits on TV, they're all saying, well, why did he shoot so quickly? Why was he so trigger happy? Why didn't he just jump out of the way? But if you have a history like that, it's no wonder why he's on edge. Now, it's not just social media speculation. The connection was made on social media initially from people who live in the Twin Cities. They remembered this story. A lot of people in the community actually were familiar with the incident as well as the ICE agent. And this started, spinning the rumor mill, but it actually ended up being confirmed. Just take a look at this from Fox News. Noam, ICE agent who shot woman was previously dragged by protesters' car. Now, I've looked on all the other mainstream websites. I have not seen this covered anywhere else with the exception of NBC, so kudos to NBC. They actually quoted Noam directly. In fact, the very same officer who was attacked today had previously been dragged by an anti-ICE rioter who had rammed him with a car and dragged him back in June. He sustained injuries at that time as well, she said. A lot of critics, a lot of leftists have been saying that this was cold-blooded murder. They're saying, why didn't he jump out of the way? Why was he so trigger happy? So again, I believe that this new context changes the equation entirely. If you have an ICE agent who has a history not just of being hit by a vehicle, but being dragged over 300 feet to the point where he requires dozens of stitches, not just on his arm, but across his body, I mean, no wonder he was so on guard during all of this. And it's not just his own personal experience, it's the atmosphere in which we live. It's the atmosphere that the Democrats themselves have created, where they call ICE agents President Trump's Gestapo, where they demonize them, where they've literally been hunted in the streets to the point where assassins have actually gone to ICE facilities attempting to shoot ICE agents, but missing and accidentally shooting the detainees, or to the point where, they're being doxxed, their locations are being exposed to the public so protesters can go there and disrupt, or so that the illegal immigrants can flee and evade arrest and capture. I mean, no wonder they're so on guard. So for people to claim that he shot her just because he's hateful or just because he's a white supremacist, by the way, she was white, or because he's just power hungry because ICE agents are power hungry or whatever the leftists are claiming, I think that this new evidence just completely undercuts all of their evidence. Also, a lot of people have really been analyzing all of the clips that have been going viral on social media, and this is a good point that I didn't catch my first watch. So this video is in slow motion. Let's take a close look. So the audio is obviously weird because of the slow motion, but just take a close look at the tires. Specifically, this is a front-wheel drive vehicle, and you'll notice, just look at the spokes, how quickly they're turning here. So she's in reverse, and then all of a sudden, it spins several times. You can tell, too, just based on the road there, that the road is icy. Had the road not been icy, had she gained traction, that officer would have for sure been under her car. It spins several times, right? And what they're claiming on the left is, oh, she was turning her steering wheel to the right so she could drive off. Well, she only does that after she gains no traction. If you've ever driven in snow, if you've ever driven in ice, you know that you try one thing, and if it doesn't work, then you move your steering wheel hoping to gain traction somewhere else. So the fact that it spins several times while the wheels are pointed right at the agent, and then she turns the steering wheel, tells me, or it at least implies to me, that there is some intent to hit him, to run him over. And when you take a look at his own personal history of being hit by a car, receiving dozens of stitches, it makes sense that he feared for his life. And I think that that is going to be a very convincing argument if, this gets all the way to court, which it looks like it probably will. Well, believe it or not, on NBC News, they were actually making some good points. I was surprised. And look, I'm not here to defend the mainstream media, but again, kudos is due when they deserve it. And I'm here to applaud it because people who, for whatever reason, still watch the mainstream media, they don't always get the truth.
Learning from the get-go. Again, the police chief saying this vehicle was blocking the federal agents right there.
That's right, Tom. And a big caveat, we don't know what happened before this, but they're definitely going to look at the fact this is an unmarked vehicle, but the lights are on. These are clearly members of law enforcement. So that's at least known to this driver.
Let's play the video because something else happens right here. Those officers approach the vehicle. They try to open the door. Let's stop it here. How will this help the investigators?
Whatever is said here, what these officers say, if the driver said anything or not, could really help them understand whether or not they thought there was some sort of an imminent threat. Was this person trying to listen to them? Were they scared? Or was this going to be a problem?
And then, of course, what the driver does next. Let's play that video. Trying to leave there. One of the officers felt like they were forced to fire, and they do. We want to show another angle, reverse angle of the same incident here. We're going to freeze it. This is that same angle here. And what does this show us, Tom?
Well, this appears to show an officer right in front of the vehicle. That, and between the way that the vehicle was moving and the timeline of that, how was the officer responding in that split second, going to be critical for investigators.
Finally, one more piece of evidence we want to talk about here, and it is the bullet hole in the front of the windshield. What will this tell investigators?
Well, you look at this, you look at ballistics, you look at witness statements, you look at other video, all going to be part of this investigation.
And that obviously changes a lot, too, because a lot of the Democrats are saying that he shot her through the driver's window, but we now have photographic as well as physical evidence that it went through that front windshield. Well, that's not stopping the protesters from going out. I'm going to make another video on this later today, but there were massive protests, not just in Minneapolis, but in New York, Seattle, just all across the nation last night, and things are already intensifying today. They are showing up at ICE facilities, protesting, harassing them. Just take a look at this moment. So this is where the ICE agents park. The facility is on the other side. You don't see it with this angle, but the protesters are up. As you can tell, this is early morning. The sun isn't even fully out yet. It's still rising. And already protesters are out harassing them, cursing at them. And this just does not create a safe atmosphere for anyone. Unfortunately, it doesn't stop there. They are attacking ICE agents on top of attempting to intimidate them. But before we get into that, I would like to thank the members of today's Governor's Club. They are Agenda Monero ×2, Life is Good, and Tesla Addict. Hey, if you ever want to give away your old Tesla, I will gladly take it. These are people who give tips and super things to the channel. I'm so thankful that you enjoy, and I'm glad that you're here. But this happened before noon today. It's not even noon where I am when I'm filming this video, and they are screaming at ICE agents, in some cases shoving them, punching them. Many arrests have already been made. This is just spinning out of control. As you can tell, these ICE agents are surrounded by the crowd. It doesn't seem like there's a way out for them. They are being pushed back, shoved into each other. The protesters are shouting just vulgarities, harassing them. It is just, it really is a turbulent situation. And like I said yesterday, the Democrat leaders, Mayor Frey, Governor Tim Walz, they are pouring gasoline on the fire. They are inciting violence. It looks like they're attempting to incite an insurrection. Here is another angle at that same ICE facility of a massive crowd. When the ICE agents were showing up to work, they opened up the gate, and the crowd saw this as their opportunity to go in and harass everyone.
They're just up to the gate.
Now, I would also like to point out that when you take a look, forget about ICE, forget about DHS. When you take a look at law enforcement, there is always, when it comes to interactions, there is always a threat and a risk of violence. Not every time a police officer pulls someone over, it's, just going to be a ticket or a warning. Sometimes they get shot at. And so, they're always on guard. But the reason I bring this up is when it comes to just your normal police, there is a small percentage of cases that escalate into violence, right? And that is to be expected. And so to me, it's actually a miracle that this hasn't happened sooner when you consider that ICE operations have been going on for decades, not just during the Trump administration. This has been going on for virtually every administration in recent memory. So for Democrats to claim that this is some new threat is just unrealistic. But, the Democrats are the ones creating this hostile situation. They're the ones doxing ICE agents. They're the ones trying to impede and obstruct justice, trying to get in the way of federal agents doing their job. They're the ones who create the opportunity for violence to even happen in the first place. So I don't blame the ICE agent in all of this, especially when you take a look at his personal history. If anything, the blame goes towards the people who are knowingly pouring gasoline on the fire. As always, though, all of this is just my analysis and commentary. That's what's happening in the world of politics from my point of view, and I would love to hear from you. So, do you think the fact that this ICE agent had previously been hit and was dragged for 300 feet, do you think that will change any minds? Do you think that this adds new context to the situation? Or do you think, hey, the lines are drawn, we're already too divided, and people have chosen their sides, and no new facts are going to change their mind? What do you think this is going to do? Let me know your thoughts or predictions down in the comments below. If you haven't already, please be sure to leave me a thumbs up. I know it's a simple thing to ask for, but it really does help me reach more viewers like you in the video or in the algorithm. By the way, if you see that hype button next to my videos and you really enjoy the channel, you want to help me grow, be sure to hit the hype button. I know you only get a limited number of hypes throughout the week, but if you want to help, spread more information and news and facts that you're not seeing anywhere else, then hey, help me out and let's push the truth out there for more people to see. Be sure to smash that subscribe button and check out one of these videos.